And pay our respects to elders past, present, and future.
Thank you, David. Before we kick off our wildlife warrior show, we'd like to have a little bit of fun and get to know you all a little better. So who is visiting us for the very first time?
Fair few of you and a few familiar faces as well. We hope that you've enjoyed exploring Australia Zoo, falling in love with all of our animals, and playing an important role in ambassadors for their wild counterparts.
Like they do, we have even brought some of our animal ambassadors with us today to show you just how easy it can be to make a positive change to the environment.
That's right. Unfortunately, plastic pollution causes a massive threat to our native wildlife and their habitat. But we can all make a difference by making some smarter choices with our rubbish.
Smart containers for change. You could be sure that your empties are being saved from becoming litter or landfill.
How beautiful birds show us just how easy it can be to make these things.
And just like our birds, we can use these containers for change things too. There are various collection points around the zoo, so start making that positive change today and don't leave your parents anymore.
Don't forget to continue your conservation efforts by always collecting and recycling outside of the zoo as well.
And hey, if our birds can at least try and can do it as well, so can we. Ladies and gentlemen, give it a shout!
Well, Crystal, it's been such a good mood, and you look like you're in a good mood too. And when we're in a good mood, we like to give away free stuff. But let me check, does anyone here actually like free stuff?
Yes? Okay, alright, some of us like free stuff. We should know though, nothing in this world is truly free. Now it's only fitting, we are at a zoo, so we're going to have ourselves a little animal impersonation contest.
Ooh, I like the sound of that, but we do have two prizes to give away today, so I think that we should split it on the
Yes, I'm going to go with, from the end of this staircase, yes, hello, everyone along here, up until that little corner, you are the wonderful group number 1. Yeah!
Loving the enthusiasm. That means that from this corner, all the way to this side, and you guys under the big screen, you guys are my lucky group number 2.
So we have our 2 groups. We just need an animal for us to impersonate. Oh, you didn't make that quite tough. I think we do have a winner though. I had someone who jumped out into the stairway. Yes, but to win, you have to do it one more time. On 3, 2, 1, go! Beautiful! A pretty round and you're it.
Well, group number 2, I think we've seen enough birds. Priscilla, what should we impersonate?
We're going to do something a little different today.
Okay.
Alright. With this rain finally coming out, we're going to be doing some of these.
Is it a whale?
Yeah.
A whale.
No,
Vita is turning 11. Happy birthday wherever you may be.
Happy birthday, Vita! Happy birthday! Thank you so much for choosing to spend it with us here at Australia.
Now, speaking
Happy
of
birthday.
celebrities, I think it's time that we pay tribute to the man himself, Steve Irwin.
Because group number 2 is going to hear us, and then they're going to try and beat us. Alright? Yeah.
I think we're going to do a bit more than try, but I feel like we will be biased, so we can't really judge the competition. So we do need to look at that.
Yes.
Looking up into our undercover section, does anyone want to be our judge today? Perfect. You've got a little brown hat on. Now, your job is very easy. All you have to do is listen in and pick the loudest side.
The loudest
side.
Yeah.
Alright.
She might be biased. Anyway, alright. Group number 1, shake it off. We got this. We're going to set that bar. On the count of 3, jump out of your seats if you want to. But no matter what, just yell crikey. As loud as you can. For Steve Irwin. On 3, 2, 1.
That's loud. Wow.
Oh, that makes my heart beat really hard.
It's quite impressive, I would say. But group number 2, we have now heard what we need to be. Let's hear your loudest crikeys on 3, 2, 1. Goodness gracious me. That's good.
Yeah, I said
Almost good.
I don't have this. We can.
Well done, group number 2. We have just won our very own wildlife warriors cracker. Stay exactly where you are. Spread out, get comfortable.
It's a wildlife
Today is a celebration of wildlife conservation, and you all know it's making a big bringing animals to you all around the world.
These warriors fly over your heads from the hills, native to Central and South America. These common characters are pretty hard to miss, both in sight and sound.
There are 17 different species of macaw, and they can range from the size of a small parrot all the way up to the height end, which can grow to over 1 meter long.
And they each have their own unique grown up right here at Australia Zoo.
That's right, if you were to see the world through a snake's eyes, you'd notice that they rely on movement rather than colour or shape. And Priscilla, you know their ears, they look really different to us.
Yes, so what Mel is saying is, if we were to see a snake and scream, it wouldn't bother them. But if you were to step on one, that is a completely different story.
Yeah, that's really true, because when a snake does feel cornered or threatened, the only thing they can do to protect themselves is bite. And that's why it makes sense that we hear most people are usually bitten when they're purposely trying to catch or unfortunately kill a snake.
Fortunately for us, we don't. Guys, it's an important message.
But you can come to think if you want.
Oh,
Didn't that backfire?
if only she had a compression bandage.
Kada dapon nila, sinusubuan ng pagkain.
Okay, let's go over.
Yeah, fair.
So she was going to bring you bandage, was she?
Ay, na-train sila.
I'm technically dying right now. Not joking.
Do you want to see if she wants to bring us a bandage? No, to be honest, it's going to backfire on you. Come on, Jazz. Come on.
Jazz.
Come on, Jazz. Jazz. Yes.
Guys, this is the message. No matter where
water. Now we've just been joined by Albert and Scuba. Albert, the larger of the two, he is a graded cormorant, and Scuba, the smaller bird with that two-tone coloration, she's a little black. As I was saying, these guys are as they do lack that water-resistant coating on their feathers that many other birds do possess. Now this does help them dive deep in pursuit of their prey items. Now, as you are seeing, he is demonstrating that perfectly. Now, these guys having that water resistance, not having that water resistance is really great for life under the water, but they do struggle to take flight with wet feathers, which is why you will spot birds like these with their wings outstretched. Looks like they're shaking themselves off to dry. Now, Albert and Scuba are 2 out of 5 species of cormorants.
Galing.
Oh! You might be lucky enough to see these beautiful birds.
Ordinary lang yan.
All around Australia. Now, from birds that
Gala yan eh. Gala.
our next guest will be joining us from outside CROCOSEUM. These birds are well-equipped fishermen that fly at great heights. Now, even though these birds fly at such great heights, these guys do not use aerial prey. Now, Now this here is Douglas, our jabiru, or more accurately known as a black-necked stork. Now let's check Doug out as he does make his way into the water. Now using that short, sharp-like beak, he will be using it to stab out his prey items. Now them long skinny legs did look funny in flight, but they do serve quite an important purpose, and that is to keep his body high and dry out of the water while he does search for their prey items. Now prey items Dougie's going to go after fish, crustaceans, eels, and up north, even juvenile saltwater crocodiles. Now these birds, my favourite fact about them is that they are sexually dimorphic. Now what that means is you can tell the male and female apart just by looking at them. So we can tell here that Doug is a male, and that's because of that beautiful dark brown, almost black coloured hide. He is thriving today. That is awesome. Thank you so much, Luca. Now, Luca here is that beautiful yellow-tailed black cockatoo, which you did see, as he did take flight. That beautiful. They're very social in the wild, and they have very distinct calls. So you keep your eyes and ears open, and you might be lucky enough to see some of these amazing birds flying around Australia. But in just a moment, we would love to introduce you all to the colourful aerial acrobats of Australia, our beloved and neglected star. These birds are so impressive in flight and truly a breathtaking part of Australia's diverse landscape.
15 feet long and 350 kilograms, your crocodile today is Graham.
Cool. You guys are in for a treat today with Graham. 2 months.
They're the world's most perfect and unchanged predator, surviving challenges and eras where others have failed.
But here to tell you all about it is Sarah! Give it up for the Australian Reptile Team!
How's your day so far? Going to be a whole lot better. So Graham slowly making his way out. With Graham's help, we're going to show you
May
exactly
hawak
what
siyang
we're
ipapakain siguro
Myself
parang
and
meat,
Bruce is
no?
going to help me feed him. I've got to make some pretty
Oo.
nasty mistakes.
Oo.
Do the opposite of us and you'll be fine. You go up to Northern Australia, you might even be lucky enough to see a croc in the wild, but you can come back in one piece. Obviously that's what's most important, your safety, but in turn, the crocodile safety. If you avoid the crocodile, you keep the crocodile safe. So, he's about to pop out of the canal. Now, for the whole time he's out here, he's pretty much going to act like a wild crocodile. He's going to be hunting and
Ayan
stalking from mostly
Ayan na
beneath the
palabas
water
na.
surface. So he
Ayan na,
thinks
oh.
this is dark, murky water. He thinks that he's submerged. We can't see him, so he will go to the hunter's swarm mode, and he hunts through vibration. So he can feel something as small as like a bandicoot or a rabbit walking around the water's edge, just through the vibrations they're sending out from the fish. But just standing next to the water's edge isn't the biggest mistake that you can make. The biggest mistake you can make, and I guarantee there's probably someone doing this right now, they might be sticking hot, you want to cool down, they go in the water. You know, they go maybe knee deep to get a first spot, kill a fish. If not, right out in the middle, it's sticking hot, and they want to cool down, they want to splash around, have a good time. No idea this big crocodile is slowly creeping in, not showing off his big scary teeth or his big bulky body, super cunning, super slow. To be honest, this gets him pretty grumpy. So now he's all fired up. Good luck, Lucy. He's all
Scary.
Ay!
Tingnan mo, meat talaga, no?
Now that was an alright strike by Graham. He came out of reasonably quick, but when he means business, when he's firing on all 8 cylinders on a sunny day, he can strike from the tip of his nose to the base of the tail in literally the blink of an eye.
Nakatulog
So
naman
hard,
na
so
sa pagkain
fast,
niya.
there isn't an animal out there in the Australian bush that can get out of the way. The crocodiles, they generally attack for one of 2 reasons. The first is food that he just demonstrated there, and the second is for territory. So let's see what happens when Nero gets back in the water and see what Graham thinks of that.
He's very safe. Straight away, I'm moving close to the water, and he's spinning around. He's heading back to the water. He will probably enter and then go straight back under. So go straight back into the hunt and stalk mode, hoping that I don't see him, that I stay in this wrong spot for long enough that he can cruise on over, he can get set up, and he can take me out. But I'm not going to hang around there too long, but we'll try and feed him over this side of the enclosure. Not a whole lot of room to work over here, especially compared to over there, so I go quiet. I'm nervous. Anything quick.
Ay!
Up here.
Scary, yeah!
How cool is he, eh? Absolute weapon. So, he was sitting right there, giving that perfect example of sort of that strike range. So that's the tip of the nose and the base of the tail, just like Bruce was talking about. So yeah, he's a pretty scary animal and he's got some pretty scary teeth behind him, but I reckon the scariest part about a crocodile is the jaw pressure. So he has more jaw pressure than any other animal on the planet. So he's got double of what a hippo has. A hippo has about 1,500 psi, and he's got at least 3,000 pounds per square inch in his closing jaw pressure, which means if he did a big strike then and I slipped over and he grabbed me, say, like mid-body, I would explode out both ends like a chicken punch. So he's amazing at catching those animals.
Demonstrate what we call a tail walk. And this is not a circus trick we've had to teach Graham or any of our crocs. It's a completely natural behaviour they use the day they hatch out of the egg. They're only about 15 centimetres long when they first hatch out, and just about everything in the Northern Rivers eats baby crocodiles. So they go to the sides of the river where they hang out in the reeds and the mangroves, and they'll use this method to pick off frogs and little insects, and they'll continue doing this up until they're gram size and potentially even bigger when they're looking at things like flying foxes, possums, goannas in a branch, or even silly zookeepers hanging over the ramp. Come on, big fella. There we go. So that's a really good lesson to learn when you are up in Northern Australia, is don't overhang the river and those big melaleuca trees and things like that, or you might have a crocodile come up and grab you by the legs.
So what Graham and what crocodiles in general rely on is the animal, the food item, making a mistake and getting in the danger zone. So he wants to come over, he wants to get set up, and the animal to come down. Ideally they're coming down for a drink, they'll probably stick their head in the water, they'll have a drink, head down in that perfect position, so they can't see him cruising in, they can't see him setting up, and then pull, he can strike out, he can grab it on the head, he can pull it back into the water. So he wants to make sure that that silly animal, or the animal that's coming down to get a drink across the river, is in that perfect spot, so he can set up and get ready. And he can do that strike and not necessarily have to try and chase something down. So he's showing us really well right here that he is very reluctant to come out of the water. So he came out a little bit further on that first strike. He's probably pretty full of beans then, but you can imagine he's completely muscled pretty much, so he builds up lactic acid super quickly. So he relies on that first initial strike.
Makitab na nga dyan, ramay na niya.
Pull back into the water, and it's all over. After a couple of strikes, you can see, it takes a lot of effort for him to that 350 kilos of crocodile and try and lug it over the land.
Ay, talaga nga ngumati niya.
Give it up for my last couple. He's cool, right? And if you sort of just have a look at how his body's designed, you can sort of see why he's not very fast.
Inalulun
He weighs 350 kilos, but he has
isang kain lang niya
really
yun.
short little stumpy legs. He has a pretty big round belly underneath him, and then that big long beautiful tail behind him is awesome in the water. He can swim as fast as a dolphin over short distances, just using that tail. He tucks his legs in beside him and uses that big strong tail to get the power to swim and do those strikes. But when he is up on land, it just drags behind him. It's like us trying to walk around, with a couple of tyres tied around our waist. And I probably could put my money where my mouth is, and even though I'm only a couple of meters away from him,
agawid kayo sa amin na dito agaawid na mga traffic to siguro man.
Oh my God.
maybe even late in.
Hala.
Kami ano nakamula kagatin na.
He's doing nothing. He's just staring at me with his mouth open saying,
Staring at me kung ano mag...
But if I move further away, but back to the water, and I jump in, I start splashing around again, I'm in his territory, I'm in his home, he can't help himself. Even though he is pretty knackered, he's done all those strikes, he's still going to pick that big body up. Looks like a massive slug trying to get back to the water. But once he does get back in, he's going to become weightless. He becomes that big, dangerous apex predator that you have to avoid down here in the water, not necessarily up there on land. So it goes to show how simple it is to avoid it. So 3 simple things you have to do. The first one is stay about 4 to about 5 meters back from the water's edge, so you're out of that strike range. So as Bruce mentioned, tip of the nose to the base of the tail, the biggest recorded crocodile was about 7 meters. So his strike range would have been about 4 meters. So if you are 5 meters back, even the biggest crocodile in that waterway can't strike out and can't
predators on the planet to avoid by following those simple rules that Nero just told us about. But we don't expect you guys to leave today on the Crocs like myself and Nero and the crew. We get to work with them every day, so we're obviously incredibly passionate about these animals. But what we do hope is that you can leave with a little bit more respect and appreciation for the really important role they do play up in the northern rivers. Now Steve-O up there on the big screen, he loved Crocs with everything he had, and that was no secret to anybody. And what he
Paano daw babalik?
Yun. Sundan niya. Talagang well-trained sila, ano? Magagaling rin nilang mag-train.
Eh, kung ganyan ang trabaho mo, di maaaliw ka.
Oo, kaso nakakatakot naman. Isang kamali lang yan kung hindi mo nabitawan agad yung ano.
Kakainin ka eh.
Oo, kung hindi mo agad nabitawan yung meat, kamay mo ang makakain dyan. Oh, pupunta na siya sa kanyang lungga. Video.
Ready nga, ready.
Bye!